Please don't spoil the movie.
By adding your own soundtrack. Hello.
Hello.
I am Nigel Thornberry. Nigel Thornberry.
She don't even know how to say the dang name.
It's been a while.
Shameful. My name is Penny Lou Pingleton.
You're making things up. You're a liar and a cheat.
It's Hairspray.
No. And welcome back to
Please Don't Spoil the Movie.
A podcast brought to you by sisters who love each other.
Sometimes. What's up? What's poppin'?
What made you want to pick Hairspray?
I was trying. It was literally just the first thing that came into my brain.
You know the main girl.
She's really hot right now.
I wouldn't say hot, but they're talking about her.
She's all over TikTok, and I'm like, did we all forget that she's allegedly racist?
No, not allegedly. She in fact did that. I don't think it's allegedly. The girl went on Tyra Banks' show and told everybody what she did.
Right.
And the girl wasn't like, I'm gonna sue you for lying. She was like,
well, I know. How shameful. That's why she's only done one thing ever and nothing ever again. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about Nikki Blonsky from Hairspray and her alleged racism.
Not alleged.
Jordan doesn't believe it's alleged.
That girl went on Tyra Banks' show. It was real.
You know, and that's the problem that I have with cancel culture. It's like, I need everybody to pick a lane. If we're going to cancel somebody, we need to cancel them. We need to stop picking and choosing who we're going to cancel. If we're canceling them, they need to be canceled indefinitely. And for racism, that should be like textbook, like, you're out of here. Not like, let's like think on it and let her sit and simmer for 7 years and then we'll bring her back. No.
I don't think they're trying to bring her back. I feel like they're making fun of her, but they're also like giving her too much publicity.
Yes. I concur.
Hold on, guys. Like, let's
everybody just, yeah. She was in a movie 15 years ago.
Yeah. And then the way I didn't know that's why she went away to like a year ago. I was like, damn.
Oh, that's why she went away, though? I don't think that's why she went away.
That's like, she never booked nothing after that. That happened.
Yeah, but that was like back in like the 2000s. You know, people weren't canceling people for racism back then.
No, I think that was different. She never did anything after that. No one. I don't think she didn't get booked again.
Maybe.
I can't think of what other reason why she didn't come back. Seems like she wanted to.
Well, I adore the film Hairspray, but I don't miss her.
Yeah. Haven't been watching anything lately.
Oh my god, have I? Let me think. Other than White Lotus, I didn't finish it though, so we can't talk about it. I didn't see the last episode. What did you think of it without giving away too much information?
It was good. There's a lot of questions that I thought didn't get answered, or like maybe stuff people on TikTok made a bigger deal about that I guess didn't have anything to do with anything. Maybe, I don't know. But I want to see the unedited cut. I was like, there's got to be more to the story, honey.
Girl, an unedited cut.
So I heard that the original story was like 2 hours long.
Oh,
and they had to keep cut some stuff on the
cutting room floor.
Yeah,
not a movie finale they was trying to give us.
It was already an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh wow!
And they might as well have made it 2 hours, 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Dang, that's a movie.
Yeah, wow. It was.
Okay,
it was so nice. It was good.
HBO, I see ya.
Kind of. Yeah. Kind of what I expected, kind of not what I expected.
Which season did you like? Which one's your favorite out of the 3 thus far?
I think this one's my favorite.
I think I like this one too. I do. I must say, I do not care about those 3 women.
Oh, I like
every time they get on my screen, I'm like, I literally couldn't give 2 fucking shits about what's going on with these 3. They're not. They do nothing for me.
Yeah, I mean I like them. I just like to see where they were talking about.
The only thing that I found interesting and you can't even necessarily really attribute it to them, but I guess you could because they were with them, is when, what's his name, Guk?
The Russians? That's called
Well, when the security guy realizes that the Russians, yes, are the ones who broke into the hotel. That's the only thing that they gave me. Them three women gave me that whole show. I was like, y'all are only good for this. And this really ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Yeah, it really didn't have anything to do with you. But I'm giving them the credit because the one who I do like, I guess, was with the Russians when Guk, the security guard, figured it out.
I just thought their dynamic was just like a... I mean, yeah, they didn't have anything like severe happen, but I think their dynamic was interesting. Just like friendship. Show me, one of the girls does a speech in the last episode. I was like, you almost got a tear out of me, girl.
Oh, really? Nice. Okay.
Just nice.
Well, maybe I'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I just feel like everyone else gave like an interesting storyline, like with the couple, the guy who hates his girlfriend, and the girl who's like super positive, like them two. I'm just I'm like, oh my god, like okay, is he gonna kill this guy? Like that was an interesting storyline. Then we've got the fucking brothers that are fucking each other. I'm like, okay. Those three, I'm like, y'all aren't giving me nothing.
Yeah, you didn't see, like, there's like no murder in the horizon as like to post to everyone else. You're like, are they gonna die? Are they gonna die? Are they gonna die?
Right.
Are they gonna kill somebody? Like murder? Like
yeah, you know, like, freaking.
But not really with the girls.
The bootleg Thomas Ravenel keeps on thinking, got us thinking he's gonna kill the whole damn family, and I'm just like, all right. Yeah, this is what I want to see. This is the drama I'm here for. And then those three, they just talk about each other passive aggressively. And I'm like, this is so boring. Yeah.
I don't find them boring. I find them, I don't know. I feel like every person on this show, you just have to watch.
I guess.
I don't know. I just like watching people. Just like, oh, interesting. But I will say, one thing that did not get answered was why the mama was acting funny with that lady. They never answered.
The mom was acting funny.
Remember, she was like, we spent the whole weekend together. One of the three girls, she like went up to the mom and was like, hey, we know the same person.
That's never revealed.
It's not.
Oh.
Unless it's in the 2-hour fucking cut.
Yeah, I did forget about that. So and what was the theory on that?
People were saying that maybe she like went somewhere or something. I forgot. Because like they were saying like she spoke Thai and then like she didn't want her family knowing she was where the lady was saying that they were because she already put money away because she knew the husband was gonna you know, like she was like she already like stashed the money, but
I'll have to watch the final episode.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't watched it already yet.
I know, and I need to hurry up and watch it because I feel like you were about to ruin it for me, or you probably already did with your TikToks, and then all the other tweets and posts. I'm like, y'all are gonna spoil us.
I'm not. That one, I was like, I'm gonna wait up all night. I'm not letting y'all spoil White Lotus for me.
There you go.
Like, I think I could get around people not spoiling Yellow Jackets, but White Lotus, I feel like a lot of people watch it. I'm like, I would have to try really hard not to like.
Oh yeah,
and then I ruined it for everyone else.
How dare you?
How dare I? Yes.
Well,
I watched that adolescence show on Netflix. Have you heard about that one?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's called.
I couldn't tell you what's going on in Netflix. I don't know what's going on in the world of Netflix, what they're releasing, what's happening, what's popping. I have no clue.
People were talking about it like a lot. I might have to watch it again. It's not what I thought it was going to be. So it's about like this young boy, maybe he's like 12 or 13. He kills this girl. And kind of how like the fallout of that is and like how that affects him and his family. And I kind of thought it was going to be like more true crimey. But it's just like more monologue-y. I don't know. It was different.
Was it good? She's thinking. Sounds like a no.
But like people really like it's got a 99% rating. Girl.
Why did he kill the girl?
Huh?
Why did he kill the girl?
So it was giving. So like that's a lot of people were talking about that too because it's like something to do with like incels and like how the young people are like.
Of course,
he basically killed her because she was bullying him. They kept saying that, but like she was not bullying him. But she called him an incel online or something like that, and then like he internalized it, and then I don't know. and he asked her on a date and she said no, and then he like stabbed her 10 times. But I don't know. And I thought the show was gonna follow the trial, but it was just like different aspects of things. Like each episode was its own thing, but it was like long.
Well, it does kind of sound interesting. I'm intrigued. How many episodes is it?
It's like 3 or 4.
Oh, that's it? I might be able to do that. That's why I was like,
let me watch it. No, it's 4 episodes.
I could do that. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think you're gonna like it.
I know I'm not gonna watch it, but I know I'm not.
I'm not gonna do it.
But if I had to, sure.
People seem to really like it. I maybe have to watch it again. That's not what it's just like you have to pay. Like it's a monologue, and I don't think it's that interesting monologue.
Did you ever watch the Netflix show about the Menendez brothers? Did you ever watch that one?
No.
Oh, because I was going to ask if it was like that. You should have watched that. That was excellent. That was 5 stars.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I don't think it's like that.
Dimes, motherfucking dimes. Chef's kiss.
No. I doubt it. I haven't seen it, but I don't think it's like that. No. That's what I thought it was going to be like. I don't know. It's like a story. It's very different. Very different.
Okay, what else? Do you want to talk about Yellow Jackets or what?
Yellow Jackets is almost done. Spoiler alert, they killed someone very important to me.
Oh, no. Death. On the little commune.
I'm just curious to where they're going now. Because they only have 4.
I wish you could have seen the way your eyeballs were bouncing back and forth. I was like, are you
Because I was doing the math. Because at first it was like 4 of them. But then they found out another one was actually still alive. She faked her death. Like they committed suicide, so she was actually still alive. But then they killed it. Then that girl killed another one of them. So now there's 4 of them still alive.
Okay, so you know the girl who's like everything she's in, she's always like a punk, hard ass, like
the skinny lady. That's 2 now.
Yes, Juliette Lewis.
So yeah, I looked into that too. So she dies. She died last season, so that was one thing. I don't think she wanted to die. Second thing is I've heard that she was told that her character was going to be like different from what she usually plays, which is like, you know, like a cokehead, like skinny girl, badass. But she basically
got the cokehead, she's skinny just girl, badass.
Yeah, like she was addicted to drugs, and I don't know, but she went through a lot. She went through a lot in divorce. So, but yeah, she died last season. That was one thing. I don't think they're happy when they died. Like another lady died.
You don't think what?
Too. They're not really happy when they kill off their characters. Another character died.
Well, yeah, you're out of work. I wouldn't be happy either.
But they get, you know, they really they take it really personally. Like my character had to go. I'm like, bitch, if it's in the script, it's in the script. Don't take it personal. But another lady died, and she was like, my story wasn't done being told. I was like, well,
they killed you.
I agree with that one, but Natalie had to die. Well, she didn't have to die.
Well, who's Natalie?
Natalie is the punk rock lady.
Oh, you said she had to die?
Lady, yeah, but there's another lady who's upset that because she just died this season. She was upset, and I was like, yeah, I'm not sure why they killed your character because you just got here,
right?
But she was, but Natalie, I think she was upset by her character development because she thought it was gonna be something different than what she usually plays. But it was like, I'm punk rock, I'm badass.
So did she die as an adult or as a child?
She dies as an adult. Yeah.
So
there's a young Natalie and there's an old Natalie. So her adult self dies.
Oh, so her young self is still kicking around.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
All the important people survived it to adulthood. A lot of people who died aren't important characters.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, if you're killing off the important characters that survived till adulthood, what are we going to have left?
Yeah. No, so I don't think they're planning on doing that many more seasons anyways. I think it's going to be like a 4 or 5 season max kind of show.
What season are we on?
We're on season 3.
Oh, I thought we were only on season 2.
Yeah, okay. So in the way they're killing off people, so...
And then they killed her last season?
Killed her last season.
I'm trying to figure out why she's still rolling around doing press. You're not on the show no more, girl.
See, I don't know if that was old... Yeah, well, you're right. And it's like weird because... It's like they're dead on the show, but like we're also seeing their younger self.
So I'm like, who's alive?
Yeah, so it's like they're still alive in your head, but they're like dead. But
right.
But yeah, apparently she's upset. Yeah, she was upset that she was her character. But I'm not sure what she thought was gonna happen with her character because it's not like she started like it was always gone. Yeah, it was Natalie.
It was never
but
good.
Natalie's a Natalie, young Natalie, and I think adult Natalie is a fan favorite. I would say.
Who was Natalie?
The punk rock lady.
Oh, okay. She's a fan favorite?
She's a fan favorite.
I thought she was evil. Oh, she's not?
Shauna's evil. Yeah.
Oh, Shauna's evil? The little sweet girl? The sweet lady?
Oh, hold on. Look at it again. Shauna. That I'm talking about
the girl?
Melanie Linsky.
Yeah, the girl from Coyote Ugly. The friend in Coyote Ugly.
Yep. That's who I thought you were talking about at first. No, Shauna.
She always plays like a sweet, innocent woman. Coyote Ugly. I watched 2.5 Men. Well, she was kind of
the last couple of things I've seen her. She's always playing like she's in like The Last of Us, and in that one she was kind of like a villain.
Oh, I've never seen that.
So like the last couple of things I've seen her, she's just like evil. But in Yellow Jackets, yeah, she's fucking wild. I think she's gonna be the last character alive. I think.
Okay.
Her and Misty, but anyway.
Well.
And I haven't seen anything new. I don't think anything good. Is anything big out right now?
No.
And you know what? I don't know if they need to market these movies better.
They do.
But like, what's that black actor? Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan. He's got a movie out right now.
Oh yeah, like Sinners or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I not? And that premieres...
I've seen. Not enough, but I have seen that one get advertised.
But see, I feel like y'all got to stop telling me about these movies a week before they come out. I need press. I need y'all to do. At this point, everyone needs to do
club, show, another club, another bar, another show, another concert, another club.
They need to do Wicked level press. Okay, get out there.
Yeah.
Because I'm not seeing it until a week before the movie comes out. I'm not interested.
Yeah, it's like, who do you expect to go see the movie if you're not telling us about the movie? People.
And I don't know I don't know if they're, because maybe I'm not watching TV. I know I'm not watching TV, but who is? And then like, no one goes to the movie theaters that much. And then two, y'all gotta change up the marketing.
Yeah, y'all need to stop doing commercials on TV. Do a commercial on TikTok. Let me see a reel on Instagram.
Yes.
Let me see a post on Twitter. Who the fuck is in the marketing department? No one's watching fucking TV anymore.
Right. They need to get on TikTok because I feel like I'm not on Twitter that much like I used to be.
They just got to get on all the fucking social media platforms. Stop going to the telly.
TV. The TV's dead.
It's dead.
It's dead. They knew. Fix it, Jesus. I tried to tell y'all.
Speaking of TV and infomercials, think summer camp. Think weight. Think weight loss. Think candy. Think snacks. Think McDonald's. Think Burger King. Think childhood obesity. Think go-karts. Think boy-girl dance. Think rival summer camps. Think 90s workout infomercials. Think crazy tyrant militant man who's come to ruin our summer. Think a young Kenan Thompson. Drum roll, please.
Heavyweight.
Gerry Garner, an overweight preteen, is reluctantly sent to Camp Hope, a summer weight loss camp for boys. At first, Gerry finds comfort in the friendly, laid-back environment run by the kind-hearted owners, the Bushkins. However, things take a wild turn when the Bushkins are forced to sell the camp to fitness-obsessed entrepreneur Tony Perkis, played by Ben Stiller. Perkis transforms Camp Hope into a militant, high-intensity boot camp determined to exploit the kids for his own fitness infomercial. The movie is an American comedy film directed by Stephen Brill and written by Brill and Judd Apatow. You know who Judd Apatow is?
Yeah.
Who?
I can't remember.
Who is he?
He's Judd Apatow. He did all the movies. He did a couple movies.
That's right. What movies did he do?
Is it a Disney movie?
He did this Disney movie.
I feel like it's not. I feel like he's not a Disney person.
But yeah, don't think Disney.
Did he do Dodgeball?
No, but think that round. You don't know. He directed The 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up, Funny People. And he also produced, I think, Freaks and Geeks, The Cable Guy, Pineapple Express, Bridesmaids, Anchorman, Talladega Nights.
Girl, what is his bankroll?
Yeah, you know Judd Apatow. You know him.
Oh my God, that guy.
Yeah, him. Oh. He's given us every great comedy that's ever existed, pretty much.
I didn't know I knew this man's face.
That's Judd or Jude or whatever his name is. Judd Apatow.
His net worth is $160 million.
I feel like it should be way more.
You named all those movies.
No, literally, those are only the funny movies that ever existed.
Yeah, exactly. Those were the movies.
Yeah, and he touched all of them. The concept for the film came from the popularity of the 1992 film The Mighty Ducks, which was also written by Stephen Brill, the director. Disney wanted to replicate the same success as Mighty Ducks, but with a film about boys at summer camp. Stephen Brill was commissioned to write and direct the film. Heavyweights was filmed over the course of 2 months in Hendersonville, North Carolina at 2 separate camps. Camp Pinnacle and Camp Tonawanda. Filming started on March 28th, 1994 and finished on May 25th, 1994. During filming, the kids were broken with the news about the death of Kurt Cobain, as well as the main actor, the lead in the movie, Aaron Schwartz, broke his arm right before filming wrapped, and they had to cover up his broken arm in the final scenes.
Who's that?
The main character. The main guy. Our main Gerry.
Oh.
He broke his arm.
Okay, I thought you were about to say he died or something.
No, he broke his arm.
Who was the person that died?
Kurt Cobain. Kids found out that Kurt Cobain died. You know Kurt Cobain. They always talk about him. He's like the lead singer of Nirvana or something.
No.
Am I right?
He's a musician.
Yeah, Nirvana. I get him and River Phoenix confused. What's so funny?
It just sounds like a made-up name. I get him in that Waterback Country.
Well, he's a real person.
What's his name?
River Phoenix. He's Joaquin Phoenix's older brother.
That's a terrible name.
Isn't it?
River Phoenix. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude. What's your real name? Oh yeah, he was in Nirvana. And he died at 27. He was a baby.
Yeah.
He's 5'9". R.I.P.
Now look up River Phoenix and tell me those two don't look alike.
I've never heard of this.
And I don't know what either of them did. I feel like they did the same thing.
Jesus, he looks like this guy from this other show. He was an American artist, musician, activist, and vegan. Jesus.
And vegan.
He gained recognition. Who's Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade? Oh yeah, he plays young Indy.
Sure. That's him.
He died at 23. But this guy seems more like an actor.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Handsome.
Totally. Okay. Back to what I was saying. The film was released February 17th, 1995, and was produced through Walt Disney Pictures. That's all I really got. Sorry. And that was hard digging that up. Okay?
Get to work.
I just thought it was very fascinating, though, that they were like, "Oh, give us the Mighty Ducks," and then they gave us kids at that camp.
I get it.
I think Disney was a little bit disappointed. They're like, this is a little...
I mean, obviously, I can't give you the exact Mighty Ducks, but we got like the popular kids, and then you got a game, and rich kids, and got a teacher.
And this is why they were disappointed. Budget.
Do you actually have a budget?
Yeah.
$5 million.
No.
$3 million.
You're going in the wrong direction, love.
No, $10 million.
What'd you say?
10.
There you go. Box office.
They had a box office.
They went to the box office, so box office was made.
12 million.
No.
20 million.
17.7 million.
Not
Not what they were expecting.
What can you?
But of course, over the years, the film has grown to be a cult classic. And this year, it turned 30. 30 years of heavyweights.
Right. When you said like they finished filming, I was like, we weren't even. Obviously you weren't born, but I wasn't born yet. I was still in mommy's tummy, cooking.
You were born. You were born in 94. Oh, when they were filming.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said when
they said they finished filming May 94.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Okay.
You told me.
That's enough out of you.
Film begins. It's summer.
School's out for summer. School's out forever.
You know what I miss the most about being a child?
What? Getting out for summer?
It just like watching the seasons. To me, now summer doesn't mean anything to me.
Oh yeah, summer holds no weight.
Holds no.
Christmas time is my summer.
And the only time I know what summer is like, oh, the traffic's not that bad. This is amazing. It's like, oh, I haven't seen a school bus in some time.
Traffic's light. Wonder what that means. Yeah, summer literally means nothing as an adult.
It's annoying.
It's even more annoying because it's like, oh, the weather's nice outside. I've got to stay cooped up in this shitty ass office building.
It just like sucks because it's like the seasons just blend.
Yeah.
I hate when I think about it.
Yeah, they just blend. That's right. Yeah. I mean, they blended to me as a child. I mean, the only seasons I recognized was Christmas and summer. So.
But you look forward to something. Now I'm just like,
yeah.
Well, you have Christmas.
I know. We'll get them next lifetime. That's right.
Just kidding.
That's right, babe. So, school's out. We're introduced to our main character, a young 11-year-old, slightly overweight, debatable on the slightly, Gerry Gardner. He's fresh out school for summer. He's ready to hang out. He's ready to kick it with his pals. He's on his way home, walking from school. We see that he's very awkward, not very coordinated. We see him, try to throw a baseball on his walk home, and that doesn't go well for him. We see dogs bark at him just simply for existing. He's just like an awkward kid.
Just an awkward kid struggling to get his ass home.
Yeah. He's having a rough day.
When he gets there, it's been a long hike. It's been a long day to start the summer. He walks through the door. Mom, dad, strange man. Also, this is a guy from Brother, Where Art Thou? I was like, why do I know this man?
Yeah, he's in a few things. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's where I know his face from.
He's in Holes, too.
He is in Holes.
Yeah. Nobody cares about Hector Zeroni.
Was this before? This was after Holes.
This was before
Holes.
Before
Holes. Yeah. Now look at him staying with his Disney bag.
That's right.
Right. So he walks in. He sees, I'm gonna say Hector Zeroni, but he walks in. He sees his mom and dad and this guy in a suit. And
his
the guy's
parents,
like, "Hey, Gerry."
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. His dad introduces him to the gentleman. I don't even know his name. Steve, we'll call him. And his dad tells him, "Oh, Steve, he's actually your guest." And Gary's like, "I don't know this man." And Gary's father is like, "Well, he's here to talk to you about a special summer camp just for kids like you." And Gary's like, "Fuck off. It's summer.
Right.
I gotta hang out. I don't want to go to summer camp. It's time for me to hang out." And Gerry is like, I'm not with this. Gerry's father and Steve, the summer camp rep, are like, let us just show you this little video. I think you'll like it. They sit down, one big happy family, Gerry's dad, Gerry's mom, and Steve, and they watch this infomercial about Camp Hope. It looks fantastic. They have go-karts. They have this thing called the blob, where you are on this awning and you jump onto this inflatable that launches you into the lake. It's awesome. He's like, this is so cool. This is so awesome. Then one of the counselors from the summer camp comes on the screen. He introduces himself. He's like, hey, my name is whatever my name is. I am one of the camp counselors here at Camp Hope. And this is a fat camp. Made for fat people just like you. And Gerry's like, fuck nah. This is a fat camp? Absolutely not. I'm not going anywhere with a bunch of lards.
Right. That's so messed up. Like, dude, all you had to do was enroll me in like a sports summer camp. And then like stop buying snacks, mom.
But I actually don't see the harm in this. I mean, you thought it was a fun camp until you saw it was for hefty people, and then you were like, no.
See, in my mind, he's being told about this today. He's being sent off, and it almost feels like he's going off to like a gay,
like a conversion camp or something.
It's just like, why? But why was it a secret?
Right?
Why didn't you tell me I was always going to this camp? It's just like weird. I just don't like the way they presented it.
Why didn't you tell me I was fat? And so,
like, why do you want me to change?
Right? Gerry's like, what the fuck?
And I think he tells his dad, like, won't you go too fatty?
Yeah, he's like, you're fatter than me. Why don't you go? And then the mom was like, show your father some respect. He was wrong. He was wrong for that. He fucking ate his ass up with that one. Okay, I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt. Can I do the cast? I forgot to do it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go for cast.
Cast! Ben Stiller as Tony Perkis, a fitness entrepreneur who takes over Camp Hope. Tom McGowan as Pat, a counselor at Camp Hope. Aaron Schwartz as Gerry Garner, a boy who enrolls at Camp Hope and our main character. Who is Josh? Okay. Josh is yeah. Sean Weiss? I don't know. As Josh, a camper at Camp Hope, who's also in the Mighty Ducks. He seems like to be like the ringleader of like the campers. Tom Hodges as Lars. Fucking love Lars. A foreign counselor who works for Tony. Leah Leo as Julie, Camp Hope's new nurse. Paul Fege as Tim, one of the camp counselors. Kenan Thompson as Roy Murphy, a camp counselor at Camp Hope and our resignated black character. David Bowie? No, not the David Bowie. Oh, just another guy who has the same name as David Bowie.
Yeah, get it together.
I don't know who he plays, though. Chris Donnelly. And I think that's all we really need to know. That's good. Okay.
All right.
Where were we?
So, yes. Gerry is off to fat camp. He doesn't want to go. The next scene we see, he's in an airplane, which is quick. Like, damn. He's on an airplane. He's sitting next to a fellow fat guy when our beloved Kenan Thompson comes in.
Our beloved Kenan Thompson. Our child actor. Roy. You know, I read that he was 16.
Get the fuck out of here.
Filming this movie. 16. He looks like he's 9.
That's crazy.
He looks like he's Jesus. 9 years old.
16?
Yeah, I was like, there's no way. Let me do the math.
Yeah, I'm about to say, let me go to this math.
Let me confirm that.
He's 46. No, he was born in 1978.
1978.
He shot this movie in 94.
He was 16.
Damn.
Oh my god. He looks like he's like 12 at best. 16?
Not saying he suffered. He's got some kind of health condition. Have you seen this?
Who, Kenan Thompson?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, okay. Well, it's not the worst. I just because I was looking up his age, and this news article says Kenan Thompson shares health diagnosis after suffering in silence for years.
Wait, what's wrong with him?
It's extreme acid reflux. I'm not gonna hold you, but hope you get the help you need.
He has extreme.
I thought this man was dying.
Right.
Sorry, and I'm sure it sucks. Don't know if I'm necessarily embarrassed to talk to a doctor. Just know, yeah.
Not suffering in silence.
I guess it's bad.
Is it that bad?
He's being diagnosed with condition where stomach acid repeatedly flows up into and irritates the lining. It's probably stress would be on like.
He just need to get his gallbladder removed. I know a guy, Kenan. If you need some help,
he needs to take a break from freaking SNL. Take a week off.
He's the longest running cast member in SNL history. That boy been on there half the damn show.
Right. It's just tiring. I don't know how.
I don't know how he does it.
Don't know how he does it.
But I feel like at this point, I mean, I don't watch SNL ever. I used to back in the day. During the Kristen Wiig, Jason Sudeikis, Andy Samberg days, that's when I was tuned in, baby.
That's when it like right now it's like corny. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't really. These people that are on here, I'm like But anywho,
unhinged. I need unhinged.
I just feel like when I see him on there, like he's never like a main person in a sketch. Like he's always like the supporting. Like I've never seen a sketch that's like centered around him or like he's the main focal point in the sketch. Like he's always like a side character, and I feel like maybe that's how he's able to do it for so long. Like I feel like he'd be in 2 sketches, and we in them 2 sketches, he like off to the side.
Oh, well, you mean the background?
Yeah. Like I feel like the only time I ever see him in a sketch is when he's playing like a game show host.
Oh.
And like the sketch is about the contestants. And he's like the host of the game show, but the sketch is centered around these contestants.
Maybe he's a big writer.
Maybe. But yeah.
Anywho,
back to Camp Hope. So Gerry is on his way to Camp Hope, Fat Camp. He's on the plane and he's upset that he has to go. He's pissy. He's whiny about it. The flight attendant even comes up to him and gives him a little pin from the captain, and it has wings on it, and it says like Captain. It's super sweet, super adorable. She does it to like.
We got one of those one time when we were flying. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It is so cool.
And she like does it to brighten his day, and he doesn't even give a fuck. He doesn't.
Could you imagine? It's just so cute when a flight attendant's like, "There's a cute kid up in here. Someone give me fucking wings, man."
Yeah.
Are cute.
So he doesn't care, and he's just pouting and being miserable. Roy, who's also on the way to Camp Hope, played by Kenan Thompson, notices Gerry and he introduces himself. He goes up to him and he's like, "Hey, you going to fat camp?" Gerry's like, "No." He's like, "Is that your dad?" Gerry's like, "No." And he's like, "Why would that be my dad?" And he's like, "Because he's fat too."
He's fat too.
"So you're going to fat camp?" And then he's like, "Fine, yes, I'm going to fat camp." He's like, "I knew it. So that is your dad." He's like, "No!" He's like, "Oh, well, I'm Roy."
Yeah. But he gives them some like comforting words. He's like, "Fat camp is awesome because when you're at fat camp, you're not the fat kid. You're with your
people.
Like, no one's gonna bully you.
No one can bully you for being the fat kid because everyone is the fat kid. This is your people.
Yeah.
Welcome home, Gerry.
And mind you, Roy's still fat, and this is not first time there, so we have nothing to worry.
Yeah. Also, Roy is like a veteran Camp Hope.
Yeah.
Fat camp guy.
Yeah, so he knows the ways. It's gonna be a great time.
So they land. They make it to wherever they're at for this camp. We don't know whatever state they're in, but they land. Roy and Gerry meet up with the rest of the campers who are getting picked up at the airport from one of the counselors, who is Pat. He has been a affiliate of Camp Hope for over like 15 years. He was there when he was a kid.
Years.
18 years. He was there when he was a kid. Now he is a counselor himself, and he's the guy we saw in the infomercial.
Right.
He picks up the kids. He introduces himself to Gerry, and he's like, "You're gonna have one hell of a summer, kid." And they haul their way onto the bus, and they make their way to Camp Hope. I want to
The thought
mention that I read somewhere that the bus says capacity 25, and then it was scratched out to 23. Do you get it?
Why?
Because they're fat. So it's
Capacity 25.
The bus capacity, it says capacity 25, and it got scratched out to 23.
So you're saying 23 was scratched out and they put 25.
No. The capacity on the bus says 25, and they scratched it out. Yeah.
It's 25 and they lowered it to 23?
Yes, because they're fat.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does. They can't take as many people because the children are fat. You can take more people if you weigh less.
So you would increase the capacity, not lower the capacity.
No. Oh my God, are you sure? Jordan, if you're on an elevator, the max capacity is 5 people.
Yeah.
But now, okay, and they got 4 people on the elevator. The max capacity is 5. Okay? But we got a motherfucker who weigh 1,000 pounds that's trying to get on this elevator. And he's going to be the 5th person. Well, he can't get on the elevator because he's the weight of 7 fucking people. So now the capacity has to be 4.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. That doesn't make, it doesn't make any sense because it's like if you want more people on the bus, you would increase it, not decrease it. But I get what you're saying.
But they're saying they're so fat
because of their weight.
Yes,
they have to increase. They have to
decrease how many people they can allow on the bus.
Yeah, they should have just put it like Anyway.
I wouldn't have even added that tidbit if it was going to turn into a goddamn.
No, because it makes sense. Be like. The capacity's 2 people, like, I don't know. In my head, I was thinking the capacity's 200 pounds. But we're going to scratch that out and put 300 pounds because we got some.
Oh, because we got some. Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
I see what you're saying.
They were trying to change it. That's what I was thinking. But I get what you're saying.
That's okay. I guess I see what you're saying.
One person less because we're wasting that weight. I get it.
We're on the way to Camp Hope. You know, Gerry's on the up and up. He's like, okay, these people aren't that bad. This doesn't seem that bad. You know, maybe I can, like, have fun here. They pull up at the camp. We're introduced to some more camp counselors. We're also introduced to Tom, another camp... Tim?
Timmy.
Another camp counselor who also used to be fat, but he has recently lost weight. And the campers are giving
fun of him.
Yeah, they're giving... He's now the fat kid. But reverse.
You're healthy.
Yeah, you're healthy. You're a loser here. So he's
the right
now...
amount of calories, you dunked it.
Exactly. He chose to lose weight, and now he's being reprimanded for it.
But he hasn't changed his rates. He still remembers where he came from. His day ones.
That's right. We're also introduced to the new nurse who's on campus. Oh, I guess Julie. I was like, what the hell is
I can't stand that name anymore.
Why?
My old supervisor name was Julie.
Oh.
I like the thought of it.
Don't you hate that when you meet somebody and they ruin a name for you?
The whole name.
Yeah. Your whole name is just like tarnished.
Yeah.
You
like
know?
literally when I hear it, like I get like a bad like feeling. I'm just like, what? I get like anxiety.
Right. I used to talk to this guy and he had a blue Honda. And now every time I see a blue Honda, I'm like, that motherfucking blue Honda. To hell with you, you blue Honda.
Is it the exact model that you don't like, or just a blue?
Because everybody drives a fucking Honda. Everybody drives Hondas.
Let me make sure I know what a Honda is.
You know what a Honda is.
Like he had like a.
And I feel like everybody drives the goddamn blue Honda.
I don't know. Yeah, I think that's like I've never seen a blue Honda.
You
I just feel like
they're everywhere.
No, it's just like when you bought your car, and now I see your car everywhere. But I feel like I never saw that car before. I thought you were the first person to drive that car. I think it's just like that. You just recognize them. When I tell you, a blue car is not the first car.
Them blue Hondas are all over the place. They're everywhere. Every time I drive, I go anywhere, I promise you, I'm gonna see a blue Honda. Anywho, so we're introduced to Nurse Julie as well. Nurse Julie, she's pretty, she's young, she's thin, and Instantly, all of the boys, the counselors, are taken with her. She even goes up to Pat, and asks him, "Hey, how are you? Can I get to the infirmary? I'm the new nurse. Can you help me?" And he's like, no. Because he's just so, strucken by her beauty and her stunningly gorgeousness. He doesn't even have the proper words to show her where the infirmary is, even though he's been there for 15 years.
18. And it's stupid. That pissed me off. I'm like, boy, if you don't tell her. Like, calm down.
And in his defense, I probably would have been like, I honestly don't know where that is. Like, I only know where the cafeteria is, honey. Sorry.
There's a no way. He should own, at this point, he should have like a stake in that place.
Well, yeah, you're right. After 18 years, you're correct.
Okay, 18 years. So you need to know everything about everything.
So,
yeah. That's the kind of guy he is.
That's the type of guy he is. So as the campers are getting settled in, Gerry goes to his new bunk, his cabin, and now we're introduced to Josh,
Top dog.
Who is like the head, like, honcho at the camp. He's like the camper. He's like the leader of the campers. He's not a counselor. He's one of the fat kids. He's their leader. He introduces himself to Josh. Josh introduces himself. Josh dubs him the nickname Captain because he still has, like, the flight attendant pin that was given to him from the flight. Right. So that's how he got his nickname Captain. They go around. They introduce Gerry to everybody in the cabin. And then they let Gerry in on a little secret that although this is a fat camp where we're supposed to be exercising and losing weight, they stash all of their candy, all of their snacks, all of their goods in different areas of the cabin, under the walls, under the floor beams, in the mattresses. So ain't nobody losing no goddamn weight here. That's why Roy, Josh, Pat, everybody all still chubby. They've been coming here for years. Years. This is a fat camp now. They're supposed to be losing weight at this camp. No weight loss is happening here at Camp Hope.
Not only is that the complete opposite reason why they're there, just like the bugs. That was like Girl Scout 101. Like,
oh, right.
When you went camping,
that's
put that shit,
so
put that
true.
Somewhere else, and I can't imagine.
Do not keep food in your cabin because that will attract the mice. That is so true.
The bugs, the ants.
That is so true. But these little fuckers don't care. So,
they got candy, snacks for days.
They go as far to lick candy off of one of the other campers' stomach.
My favorite camper, the British guy.
I love him. He's so cute and useless.
What's a British name?
Nicholas. He's so useless. He's so cute.
He's so adorable.
He's so precious.
So precious. And he's noticeably not. It's not even that big.
It's not too late for Nicholas. Nicholas still has hope.
He's tiny. Oh, he's just like tiny.
Yeah, he's still like Nicholas's weight is still like baby fat. Like he can burn that off. Fat.
Yeah. But so yeah, Josh, Gerry, they're all hanging out. They're done. They head into done. They're done.
They're done.
They head to the mess hall so they can meet the owners.
Ooh, Josh good word. The mess hall.
The mess hall.
Good for you.
Good for you. Good
for you.
The camp terms. So yeah, Josh is sitting next to Pat. Is his name? No, Gerry. And Josh is telling Gerry how, you're gonna love the owners. They're the greatest people in the world. It's like a husband and wife duo. They're like in their like 70s.
They're amazing. They always are buying stuff for the camp for us to enjoy.
They got the blob last year.
Last year they got the blob. This year we think they're gonna get us jet skis. You're gonna love them. Yeah. They're great. They're great people.
That's awesome. They probably would have gotten jet skis.
Yeah.
So they're called the Bushkins. That's their last names. The Bushkins walk in. They get to the front, and the crowd's cheering. Woo! We love you guys. And they're a little more somber than usual. The wife starts talking, and she's like, "We have some news, guys. This year we won't be owning the camp." And they basically explain that they have to file for bankruptcy because someone was stealing their checks or something, or wasn't cashing their checks. But anywho, their money is gone, and they can no longer afford the camp, and they have to give over the ownership to this guy named Tony.
So
Which I think is so messed up. You can't. This is what
they
First of
shouldn't
all,
have done that like the day we got here. Like, I'm sure he's been owning this camp for some weeks now. You need to put that like in a newsletter in the mail. Hey, effective this day, the Bushkins, we will no longer be owning this camp, and it will now go under the ownership of Tony Perkins. We will help him with the transition. Like, hello, do y'all know how to do anything correctly? You can't just like wake up one day and be like, oh, we're gonna tell these guys the day they get here.
Right. And it's just like, not only if it's not just a new ownership, it's a new camp counselor or head.
Right.
Or
This
like that.
this is a whole new camp. This ain't Camp Hope no more.
This is a whole new camp. This is not what I signed my kid up for.
Right. This camp, nope.
That's misleading.
So the Bushkins, you know, they give their regrets. They say, you know, we really care about you guys. We're gonna miss you guys, but you're gonna love your new owner. They're not.
Don't it?
And so they introduce them to the new owner, Tony. He comes out as if he is doing a 1983, like...
Power...
Yeah,
Summit.
you know, like Power Summit conference hosted in like an airport hotel. Like, that is what he's giving.
And he's got his own crew. They got their clothes on. They're fit. They're not from. They're foreign.
Right.
And they're dead ass.
And he runs down the aisles and he's like, yeah, who's ready to get fit with Tony? And he introduces himself. He's like, my name is Tony Perkins. And he says that he's the new owner of the camp and that he was 316 pounds when he was a kid. And because he was raised by nannies, he's never interacted with children, and he's very excited to finally interact with kids for the first time in his life.
It's crazy, dude.
And he also makes the kids aware that he is doing an infomercial that they will be the stars of. Who wants to be on TV? You'll all be the stars of my 1990s infomercial. Yeah.
I did not sign a release form, sir. And I will not.
Oh, no, seriously, they didn't actually.
I will not.
So,
also, does Tony not remind you of Oh Boy's character from Dodgeball?
No, literally, I was confusing the two. Because when I was watching the movie, I was like, and it ended, I was like, where's the scene where we see him get fat again?
Oh,
and he's like back to being obese. I was like, oh, fuck, that happens in Dodgeball. That doesn't happen. He's literally playing the same character he plays in Dodgeball, just a
I feel
wig.
Like he just recreated it.
No, seriously. Because I didn't realize that he said in Heavyweights that he says, like, when he's introducing himself, that he used to be fat. Because in Dodgeball, he used to be fat.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you're playing the same guy here.
Someone, I just saw TikTok because I was looking it up before we were recording, but some of it is like, there's a fan theory how Tony is White Goodman and how he just reinvented himself, or like they were saying like his dad probably dies and he probably spends all his money on this gym and he rebrands himself as White Goodman.
Right, that's genius.
His character in Dodgeball had to be inspired by this.
Oh, for sure,
because it's basically
not even inspired, really, just copy and paste.
Yeah,
just change the name.
Yeah, just made it from PG to R rated.
That's right.
Holding back.
Maybe G to PG-13.
There we go, yeah.
So we're introduced to Tony. Tony's telling them how, you know, it's a new day, it's a new dawn, because Uncle Tony's here. You know, he's gonna whip them into shape. Ain't no more, you know, candy and sugar and dicking around. Now y'all are gonna be exercising. Y'all are going on strict regimen diets. You're gonna turn your metabolic acid into muscle. Okay?
Amen.
And the kids are like, what is this? I want to go home. This is not Camp Hope. This is not what I signed up for. They're stressed. What are we going to do here?
Well, the next day, that morning, they're training. They're doing like this slide exercise, which I think is just...
Slide.
So obviously the kids are doing terribly. And then they do the exercise. And at one point, for his infomercial, Tony takes the kids inside to weigh them. Because his whole thing is he's going to do like before and after. He's going to show how his camp works. And he's making these kids skinny. So you got to do the before photo. Like,
he's serious about this.
Yes.
He means business. And he's going to make them lose weight by any means possible, regardless if it's ethical, whether it's a healthy practice, whether it requires them starving. He doesn't give a fuck. He just wants them to lose 30 pounds in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Also, I do think it's crazy to leave camp and not lose weight.
I think that's crazy that we have a fat camp here. Okay?
No, yeah.
Well, and the goal is to lose weight. And these kids have been coming here for years and years and years on end. And none of them have lost weight. If I was their parents, like if these parents thought the way Gerry Garner's father thought, I'd be like, I'm not sending you back to this camp. I'm sending your ass there to lose weight, and you haven't done any of it. So you're not going back.
Because like what I mean, they should be. I mean, even like so, we at the very least know before this they were doing the blob, which I mean, you got to climb up the stairs, you got to go in the water, you got to swim. You should lose some kind of weight by the end of this. What are y'all doing?
They're hiding candy in their freaking bunkers. That's what
they're eating more shit at camp than they are at home. Because in theory, because to me, camp food sucks. I'm not eating that much.
Right.
You're doing all these activities.
Yeah, you're doing all these activities. Yeah, at camp, because there's no, like, it's just breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's probably disgusting. And you're moving. You're going on hikes. You're going swimming. You're doing archery or whatever the hell you do. You're doing all these, physical activities. Why are y'all not losing the weight?
What y'all was doing? So, in the end, when they implement all these, like, new healthy stuff, I was like, what y'all was doing before?
Right. What were y'all doing before? Nothing. What? They just need to stop advertising it as a fat camp, because that's not what it was. Yeah, because maybe it was a boys' camp. Just a camp for boys.
It was a boys' camp. It was a safe place.
It was a safe haven.
It was a safe haven, exactly.
That's all it was. And that's fine. We need those.
Yeah, we do.
But just know you're not losing weight at this camp.
One of the things he implements, because I feel like his big thing is trying to make them lose weight by embarrassing them, which is the wrong way to go. So he makes them play like a baseball game versus camp MVP, which is like the camp across the lake, skinny, rich, preppy boys. And
your future basketball players, your varsity football players, your frat kids,
pros.
Yeah, these are your upper echelon white kids.
Like they're at camp. They're probably like at like a dual baseball basketball camp, just to prep for the season back in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They know how to play baseball, so they come over to the boys' camp, and they basically just whoop their ass. It is a lot of the kids on from Camp Hope. They go to the nurse's office from bruises, from getting hit, from bleeding, just from exhaustion. And no one's learned anything. It's just
right. And, the counselors, approach Tony. They're like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Maybe we should, like, lay off. They're not ready, to go against MVP. And Tony's like, thank you for telling me how to run my camp that I bought. I don't care.
So, yes, they get their ass beat at baseball. That night, Tony goes to visit Gerry and Josh's and the whole gang. So they all stay in the same bunk cabin. And Tony comes in there. He's got a little hunch. He's got a little feeling that something's nefarious going on in this cabin. So he takes, what is Kenan's character's name? Roy. He takes Roy, and for whatever reason, he hugs him. Racist. And he pulls out like a Snickers bar from hugging Roy. He pulls out a Snickers bar like that's tucked in his like socks. And then there's another kid that is on Tony's side. I don't know if Tony hired him or where the fuck, but he was like, Tony, I used to bunk in this cabin last year. And he shows Tony where they hide all the candy.
I didn't understand his character. The one who was like used to be a camper, but he works for Tony now, but he's also still kind of chubby. I was like, I don't understand.
Right, because like, so Tony brought on his own people. Did this guy just like this guy who used to be at the camp? Did he just transfer over to Tony's team?
Right.
I don't.
Because he's also not. I mean, he's not as like. He looks older. He's not as big, but he still looks like he's not Tony's criteria.
Yeah, he's not Tony's criteria.
I
wonder if there's a deleted scene.
Maybe. So
it just feels like he joined alliances with him.
Tony feels like, the kids are up to no good. They're snacking, and we got a rat amongst us. One of the former campers, who's now a counselor with Tony and the gang, snitch and tell Tony that, these kids, they hide the candy all throughout the bunks. Tony finds the candy, and he's like, how are we ever gonna get to where we need to be if we got little rats like y'all eating up everything, eating yourselves out of house and home?
Tony finds all the candy, and then he looks to Gerry for whatever reason. I'm not sure why he picks on Gerry, but he asks Gerry, do you know who brought this candy in? Like, tell me who it is. Was it you?
Who's responsible for this?
Who's responsible for this? And for whatever reason, he's picking on Gerry. He's talking about how Gary's dad is a bitch or something like that. Okay, but he does pick on, he was like, I don't know, he said something rude.
Yeah, he's like, Gerald Garner, 111 pounds, age 11. Who brought the candy into this bunk? I'm sure your father. Gerald Garner Sr. wouldn't appreciate you being a fatso, would he? Or whatever he tells him.
So at this point, Josh is like, you know what? Whoa. No one picks on my crew. So he steps to Tony. And he tells him, I know who did it. It's a guy named Seymour Butts. And Tony goes, Seymour Butts? Who's Seymour Butts? Is this the time he said? He's like, I don't know who Seymour Butts. I don't know who's Seymour.
I don't know who's Seymour Butts than you, Uncle Tony.
But Tony.
Bust
out laughing. It's actually really funny when you get someone on such a dumbass joke.
Right. Seymour Butts. Who's Seymour Butts?
I love how Ben Stiller's like he's acting his ass off in this movie.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, the voice that he does, it's like the same in Dodgeball, but it also reminded me of the voice he does in Zoolander.
You think it reminds you of the voice he does in Zoolander?
Yeah, it reminds me of when that scene in Zoolander where him and Hansel bump into each other, and Hansel's like, excuse me, brah. And he's like, you're excused. And I'm not your brah.
No, it is that, yeah. True that.
But yeah. So, Josh publicly humiliates Tony with this little cheeky joke. And Tony does not like it. Tony turns to Josh and said, you messed with the wrong man.
There we go.
And after that, Josh disappears in the night.
Next morning, his bunk is made. He is gone.
He is gone. His bunk is empty. His clothes are gone. His stuff is nowhere to be found. He is not at the camp. Tony
was going around that he's like, he died and he stabbed somebody.
Tony comes on the intercom that morning and says, Josh Parker is no longer here with us. He's gone. And everyone's speculating. They're like, oh my goodness, he got murdered. They killed him. They brought him back to New Jersey. All these rumors flying and circulating about Josh's whereabouts. And they're concerned. That's their friend. That's their buddy. That's their pal. And now he's gone missing for standing up to Tony.
Yes. And then pretty much after this, everything goes to hell. We see Gerry writing it's like a monologue scene. But he's writing to his grandmother, and he's telling his grandma how he's, tried to talk to his dad, how about terrible it is, but his dad's like, I don't give a fuck. Gerry tells his grandmother, the food's terrible. They got rid of the blob, which is the little thing they used to jump on the water. Tony destroyed the go-karts, which, why destroy an asset? I'm not sure.
Sometimes they don't even get food some days.
Some days they don't get food. Tony's doing crazy stuff like laying down on spikes and having them crush ice on him. It's just like
It's just weird.
It's just...
It's just strange stuff.
It's a low-key occult. It's getting cult. Actually it's getting cult. But none of the members believe in it.
Right. It's a cult that nobody wants to be a part of.
That no one's signing up for.
No one was like, I don't want to be here.
Recruitment is low.
There you go.
They get so hungry. There's one scene where they're running after some fucking cow with a baseball bat, and they're insinuating they're trying to kill this cow to eat.
It's real unfortunate. These poor boys. It's
turning into low key Lord of the Flies in that bitch.
Yeah.
It's not doing great. So another form of humiliation that Tony sets up. He sets up a dance with a nearby girls' summer camp, and they're gonna come over to the camp and they're gonna dance. With Tony's idea that they'd be embarrassed enough.
There you go.
To lose weight, which terrible idea, but it does.
I don't think that didn't make any sense to me. So we're gonna invite these girls to a dance, and I guess the girls aren't gonna want to dance with them because they're fat, and because of that, they'll want to lose weight. Was that the logic? Okay.
Which is like the worst. It's like he's playing mind games with them. All he has to do is just like take them on like walks every day.
Yeah,
and make them eat high protein meals.
That's very psychological.
Figures out. So yeah, it's an awkward dance. There's boys on one side. There's girls on one. There's girls on one side. There's boys on one side. The camp counselors can't even handle how awkward this is.
Yeah, Pat,
freaking Tim is pissed. I love how Tim is taking this very seriously. He's very upset that this dance is not fun. He is pissed off. I'm not sure why he's so invested, but I appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
At one point, Pat is talking to Julie. Julie is like, because they've seen all of what Tony's doing. She's like, I got a friend who works for child services or something like that. And
this motherfucker gotta be doing something illegal.
Yeah. She's like, and I told my friend, like, can you come check this out? She's like, I can't come to next week, but they're trying to get something rolling because this ain't right. But my thing is, if it's getting so bad that you guys are concerned, I think y'all need to step in.
No, seriously, that's my qualm with this movie. Y'all are adults.
Yeah, y'all could do it.
Y'all too have these children left in your care. Yeah. So allowing this man to do X, Y, and Z, and y'all are just like, oh, we don't know what to do. No excuse.
No excuse. And I mean, you know it's bad because you're considering calling CPS.
Exactly.
So you know it's bad. So you need to do something. You need, at the very least, you would call their parents. Come pick up your kids.
Yeah. Come get your children.
He not feeding them.
So while we're at the dance, nothing is happening. There's no dancing going on. There's no intermingling of the sexes. The girls are over there. The boys are on the other side. And Tim is like, we've got to get this started. We've got to get this party started. So Tim takes it upon himself. He makes it to the middle of the dance floor and he starts dancing outrageously. He looks foolish. He looks stupid, but he's dancing. Pat goes up to him and he's like, Tim, what are you doing? You look like an idiot. Tim's like, I don't care. It's a craze. I start dancing, they'll start dancing, then the girls will start dancing, and then we'll really get some bodies flowing here. And Pat's like, okay, fine, whatever. So Pat joins in. Then Nurse Julie joins in. And then the boys are like, okay, I guess we'll dance. The girls see all of this and are like, oh, they may be fat, but it's just a dance. It might not be that bad. So then they join in and dance with the boys. And now we got a party going. We got vibes picking up. One of the kids even starts making out with one of the girls. They're only like 11.
When they kissed, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, this is it.
I was like, who showed you how to do that?
Right. I'd be like, break this up right now. Oh my
God, they were adorable. I was like, oh my God.
No, I was like, fall in love. Somebody break this up.
One half of a song because it doesn't last long.
Right. So, just as the party's flowing, Gerry's dancing with his girl. Roy has found the only other black girl that's also at the dance and he's dancing with her. Josh has someone, he's not there, actually. Josh is not dancing with anybody because he's not there.
Yeah, Josh isn't there.
Nicholas has found a British girl.
Yeah.
The vibes are there. We're having fun. Of course, Yay. It all comes to an end when Tony walks in and cuts the music. He says, dance is over. Thank you, ladies, for coming. I know how hard it must have been. And he's like, get out. Just when, they were having a little bit of fun, getting a little bit of joy on their side, he's like, yeah, I gotta cut this out. Because that's not what y'all was here for. Y'all was here to be humiliated. Y'all can't be having fun. I need y'all to lose weight for my infomercial.
It's messed up because that's like probably the first time they had fun in like a long time.
Yeah.
Probably since day one, and it's over. Also, another thing that was crazy, one of the girls is like, why can't they just lose weight? And her friend is like, why don't you teach them how to throw up your meals? I was like, oh.
Yeah, she's like, why don't you grab a spoon and show them how you throw up your meals? It's like, oh my God. She gagged her, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Now we're all suffering with weight issues.
So party's over.
That now, everyone heads back. Gerry is feeling, down in the dumps. He goes to the go-karts because he was very excited for this when his parents showed him the video. He's sitting on a go-kart that has no wheels, no engine, no nothing. And him and Pat have been like kind of bonding this whole time. Pat goes up to him and is like, "How's it going?" And Gary's like, "I hate this. It sucks." But Pat, being the great counselor he is, because he's a really good counselor, he turns on their imagination and he starts pushing Gerry around in the go-kart, probably the most exercise he's gotten in a long time, and he's pushing him around and they're having a grand time. Julie is watching off to the distance. She's like, "Oh my god, he's such a nice person.
He's such a great guy."
Yeah, such a great guy. But yeah, so from this scene we get like Gary's got a real interest in go-karts, and Pat and Gerry are like
bonding.
I don't know. Something about when men spend too much time with children.
I don't know why when I was younger, even though like we knew his dad, I just like associated with Pat being his father because they looked so much alike to me. I was like, oh, that's his dad. It's like a child.
No, that's great. That's a great point. That's like his father figure more than his actual dad.
Yeah, because his actual dad sucks.
His actual dad just thinks he's a fat, useless kid.
That's right.
He won't believe his phone calls.
Right. I didn't send you to go-kart camp. That's so messed up. Like, hello. I'm just fat. Here.
Like, I'm not a terrible person. Like, I'm not burning things.
Exactly. I didn't commit a crime. I'm not some rebellious preteen. I'm just a little overweight.
Right, I'm eating the food y'all give me.
Exactly. If you want me to lose weight, just stop buying me sugar.
Right. Stop buying the snacks, Mom. Okay. I don't have a job. Where would I get it from?
Exactly.
So, Gerry and Pat have had a nice night. That night, the gang is in their bunks. They're sleeping. And we see a door open. And when the door opens, Josh comes in. He's looking like out of it. The whole bunk wakes up and they're like concerned. They're looking at Josh. Josh looks like he just got a lobotomy or something.
They're like, "Josh, where have you been? What happened to you? We haven't heard from you, man. Are you okay? Josh is acting as if he's been like hypnotized.
Yeah.
And he's acting.
That's when they think like, he's like, "Oh my God, we need to," like he clearly he's been kidnapped by Tony and brainwashed and he's in a cult. He snaps out of it. He's like, "Just kidding."
He's like, "I'm just effing with you guys. I bet y'all are so happy to see me." They're like, "Oh my God, Josh, we're so worried, man. Oh my goodness, Josh, so good to see you. What happened? What was the outside like? Oh my God, Josh, you're so cool." So everyone's like super excited to see Josh. They're asking him all these questions, how was it like on the outside? How much food did you get to eat?
What happened to him?
What happened to you? So basically what happened is Tony sent Josh home, for trying to embarrass him. And, as to teach Josh a lesson, he sent him home. But he did not give his parents a refund. Josh's father is a lawyer. And he threatened to sue Tony. And, of course, Tony, wanting to avoid any and all lawsuits, was like, hey, no worries. Your son can come back. So that's how we get Josh back at Camp Hope.
What? I think it's crazy. Could you imagine if camp counselor like, "I sent your kid home because he talked back"? I'm like, yeah, these are kids.
I'm like, yeah, that's not how this is going to work, honey.
That's not exactly.
You think I want to deal with this kid for the summer? That's why I sent him over there. Okay?
Right.
You got to keep him.
Unless he burned a building down, he's staying there.
Yeah, I don't want to see him for 3 months. So Josh is kind of, following up with the guys, and he's like, "Okay, like, how's like everything been going over here? What's like our snack, pile looking like?" And Roy tells Josh, "Look, Tony cleared us out. We don't have anything left." And Josh is like, "Well, this just won't stand. We're fat. We've got to eat." So Josh, Roy, Gerry, Nicholas, and like one or two other campers, they decide, you know what? We got to get our contraband back. You know, we got to get our stuff back. We got to get our snacks. We got to get our Oreos. You know, our Chips Ahoy, our Hershey's Kisses. We got to get that back. So they set out a plan to go to Tony's cabin, shift through it, see if they can find whatever snacks, goodies that might be in the cabin and bring it back to theirs. Perfect timing because Tony is going out for his like daily jog. So while he's out for the jog, the boys will invade his cabin and see if they can find the goods. Tony leaves. They all sneak in. They're looking around. They're looking high and low, but they're not really able to find anything.
They can't find no candy, but they do find a chest. They're like, okay, the candy must be in here. So they open it up. It's not candy. It's letters. Their letters. The letters that they've been writing to their family, their fathers, brothers, their sisters. Gerry to his grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
They have not been going out. Tony has been confiscating them, which is a very red flag.
Isn't that
awful?
Is concerning. And
that is very culty.
The boys are shocked. They're like, what is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with this man? How can he just hoard our letters to our families like this?
A whole case full of letters.
Every single letter that's been written by a child is in his trunk.
So they learn this. They are able to escape because Tony's coming back from a run. They're able to escape right before he gets back. And they make it out by the neck of their feathers. What's the phrase?
By the skin of their teeth. By the neck of their feathers. Oh my God.
I just had to say it. I was like,
by the neck of their feathers. They barely made it. Thank God for that neck and those feathers.
We've all been there.
Ooh, that is hilarious.
So they're like in some area and they're like trying to calm down from being excited and almost getting caught. When Gerry hears like someone opening up wrappers. Oh, I think they're by the bathroom. He hears someone opening up wrappers. So they're like, he's like, shh,
rappers.
Don't you hear that?
Right, rappers. Come on.
They kick in this toilet. They're like, where are you getting that fucking food from? Yeah.
And so one of the other campers is sitting on the toilet munching on a burger. And they're like, where did you get that? And he's like, I found it. Nah, brother. Where that candy came from? He's like, all right, I'll tell you. So what's been happening is one of Tony's camp counselors, the same one that ratted the boys out and snitched on them to Tony, saying that they kept their candy, in their bags and in, the mattresses and in the, hardwood floor. This same camp counselor has, for a cost, been sneaking in food for the campers if they pay him. And so now that Gerry and Josh and Roy all know this, they capitalize on it, of course.
Business is booming.
Business is booming for this camp counselor. Even Pat is picking up food. We see a montage of food getting left by this camp counselor and the campers just picking it up meal after meal after meal after meal. So they're back to eating good, baby. Right. They're back to eating good.
I think it's funny. At first I was like, oh my God, you're just a rat. But he ratted for his business, which I gotta respect.
I guess, yeah. So then I thought, okay, that must have been why he did it, so he can make a little money.
So but he could be the only...
I'm not fucking with it.
The ins and out. I was like, damn, not you gonna rat on him. But he's actually, I guess he was never pro Tony. He's always been an anti...
He's pro himself.
Playing fields.
I don't like him.
So yeah, they've been eating good. So at the next weigh-in, I wonder how long it's been since the first weigh-in, the next weigh-in. Tony's preparing to shoot, the progress in his infomercial. He's running up, he's doing his thing, and he calls one of them up to get weighed.
Oh, he calls one of the boys up. The one who was eating that burger in the stall, he called him up.
And he was like,
he gained like 2 pounds.
Yeah, he's like, you were 130 last time, now you're 132.
And
get off the scale. That's okay.
Yeah. It raises...
Muscle weighs more than fat.
Yeah, it raises like a slight alarm for Tony, but he's like, you know what? Yeah, muscle weighs more than fat. We can fix that, in 2 days' time. You'll be back to your weight loss goal.
Right.
So next he calls up Gerry Garner. And Gerry comes up and he steps on the scale. Tony takes his measurements and Gerry has gained 9 pounds. Tony looks at him and says,
"That's wild.
You gained 9 pounds since you've been here. Get off the scale, Garner." And
that is wild.
That is wild. 9 pounds is pretty hefty.
Okay.
And so Tony tells the cameraman, cut the cameras. And he's like, how am I supposed to film a weight loss infomercial about fat kids if you refuse to lose weight and all you do is snack and sneak in food and cheat on your diets? What am I supposed to do with that material? I can't make a late night infomercial with this crap. Turn the camera back on. All right, okay. And we're going to move on to the next camper. He calls up Josh.
Yeah.
Josh steps on the scale. As soon as Josh gets on the scale, get off the scale. Get off the scale, because Josh done gained some weight. And, in Josh's defense, he was out in the real world.
Yeah.
But after seeing that these kids are not taking Tony's diet plan seriously and that they somehow have been gaining weight, he's pissed. So Tony has a little episode and he's pissed and he has a conversation with himself and he's like, this isn't my fault. This is their fault. How are you doing, little Tony? Little Tony's not doing so good. Why aren't you doing so good, little Tony? Because they're not losing any weight. But it's not your fault. I know it's not my fault. It's their fault. It's their fault. It's their fault. It's your fault. And he clicks out on these kids and he tells them every kid that has not met their weight loss goal, which is all of them, will join him on a 20-mile hike tomorrow morning. And of course, those out of shape, malnutrition, starved and hungry poor little boys cannot handle a 20-mile hike.
I can't handle a 20-mile hike.
No one can handle a 20-mile hike.
We haven't prepped for that. We
haven't prepped for that. Dude, we can't even do 2 miles.
Yeah.
You're talking 20?
20 miles.
Double digits?
20 miles is crazy.
That's crazy. So that's Pat crazy, finally, decides to be an adult and is like, whoa, Tony, 20 miles? I don't think this is a good idea. Oh, it's not a good idea. The fat man is telling me how to lose weight. Why don't you go back to being fat? Says Tony. And he tells Pat that he is an energy sucker and that he is a bad seed and he's tainting his camp and his work. That night, Pat is kind of sitting outside. He's watching the sunset. He's all sad. And Gerry comes up and joins him. And, Pat has this, very vulnerable moment with Gerry. And he tells him, you know what, Gerry, I'm just tired of being the fat guy. And he looks over at the water and the camp across the lake from them, Camp MVP, with all the healthy, young, athletic kids. And he's like, sometimes I wish I was like them. And then Gerry's like, F them. You don't want to be like them. They're douches. They're jerks. They're like Tony. And, Pat's like, yeah, you're right. And then Gerry's like, you know what? You did something that no one else has been able to do. You stood up to Tony. Yeah. And, we shouldn't take his crap anymore. We got to do something about this guy. And Pat's like, yeah, Gerry, you know what? You're right. And these two have now kind of agreed that enough is enough. We got to put a stop to Tony. And Pat tells Gerry, he said, you go on the hike tomorrow, corral the others, get them on the same page as you, and I'll stay here, hang back, and devise a plan. And Gerry's like, bet. Cool.
I think it's so funny that Pat was like, I hate being fat. I was like, who's supposed to be counseling who?
No, literally, I was like, why are you venting to this 11-year-old child?
Right. I was like,
you're supposed to be counseling him. Hence your name, job title, camp counselor.
Yeah. Like, you're supposed to be making him feel better, not the other way around.
Exactly.
That's okay. So the next day is the hike that Tony's forcing all the boys to be on. Unfortunately, it's just going to be the boys and Tony. Now, why didn't one of the nice camp counselors demand that they come on this hike? I'm not sure. Because they should have been like, that's great, I'm coming. The nurse should have went at least. Or Tim. Someone should have went.
Someone who's in shape.
Tony. Someone's in shape. And someone with a little bit of, that's not crazy.
That's right.
And I think before the hike, Tony's like, y'all not even eating on this hike. They're doing a 20-mile hike. And he's like, we're not bringing food.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, no food.
Which is barbaric.
Just
now that's crazy.
Father, Son, Mother Earth, and your good Uncle Tony. And that's it.
People eat in marathons. Those runners snack. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So they begin their hike. Back at camp, the useless camp counselors are doing nothing. They're having a powwow, being like, what are we gonna do?
They're trying to figure out. They are trying to figure out. You know what I realized? Oh. It took me a third time watching it. So yeah, while the kids are on the hike, the camp counselors are, trying to figure out how they can get rid of Tony. Tim spoke with a lawyer, and the lawyer basically told Tim, you don't have enough evidence.
They have any evidence, right?
Julie spoke to her friend with the social work.
Yeah, CPA?
Yes. CPA? No. CPS. Duh. With CPS, and was like, yeah, I can come out there, but it won't be another 2 weeks. Pat's like, that's not enough time. So then, as they're like, what are we going to do? The camera guy, whatever his name is, I think it's Kenny, walks down and is like, hey, guys, have y'all seen Tony? And they're like, no, we haven't seen him. And he's like, that guy owes me $600. Freaking idiot. And he walks away. And then they all make this face. They're leveraging, what happens later. They leverage the fact that Tony owes it. Why are you making that face?
It took you 3 times to catch on to that.
Oh, you noticed it at the first try?
Yes!
I was like, why did this not come to fruition? I was like, what was the point of this? This interaction with the cameraman. I was like, oh, they're using the footage that he has to expose Tony.
I hate you.
I never, that was not obvious to me.
Yes, they're like, Tony owes you money. They're like, we're going to pay for the footage because Tony's not paying you.
Oh, yeah, that was not obvious to me. At all.
And I looked up how much $600 is in today's time. It's like about $1,200.
Oh, okay. So he owes him about $1,000.
So they're gonna leverage that.
So
you get paid up front, baby boy. At least half.
It's just business. So back on the hike. Tony's acting crazy. Tony is like, be one with the Mother Earth. He's doing yoga poses on like this rock, where the kids are just like watching him, and he's like, harness
off the side of a cliff.
Harness your inner chi. And the kids are like, dude, we don't like want to do this. We just kind of just like want to have fun. And Tony's like, I'll show you fun. He starts doing like freaking pullovers on a goddamn tree branch, and he's like doing flips and stuff. And they're like, man, this guy's crazy.
Mind you, he's doing it on the side of a cliff. So if he fell, he would die.
Exactly. They're like, man, this guy's crazy. And then Tony basically tells them, he's like, okay, look, we're going to have an hour of meditation. After an hour of meditation, we're going to climb that rock over there. It's about 1,000 feet. We're going to climb with our bare hands and our bare feet. And they were like, oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Someone could have died, and I'm not joking.
No, literally. And Josh is so fed up with his crap. Josh turns to Gerry, and he's like, let's push him. No one will be able to convict us. We are minors. And Jerry's like, no.
I'm like, Sorry, Josh, you're a little too brown for this. I'm a little too
Right.
big, but
Right.
Nice
You may be Italian, but your skin's pretty tan. I don't know how this will work out for you.
I would watch out for that.
I would watch out for it. So they instead devise this plan to, like, you know, just mess around with Tony instead. So basically,
they saw a pit earlier.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, so they saw this pit earlier.
Oh.
Like, one of the British guy was about to walk into it, and they decide, like, this is going to be part of how they trap.
This is how they're going to get Tony. It starts off, this is now their plan. They somehow convince Tony to do a push-up for them with his eyes closed.
Pull up. A crunch.
A pull-up. A sit-up. A sit-up.
Sit-up, there it is.
They convinced Tony to do a sit-up for them with his eyes closed, so he won't see what's going on. And while he's doing this sit-up, Josh props his bare bottom in front of Tony's face. And on the count of 3, when Tony does the sit-up, he will sit up and place his face into Josh's butt.
I'd be so pissed.
Right. So the kids count to 3. They're like, okay, Uncle Tony, 1, 2, 3, sit up. And he sits up and he sees Josh's butt and he's pissed. He begins to now chase after Josh. Josh leads Uncle Tony down to the pit that they saw earlier, and Tony falls into it.
Oh no.
They got him.
Got his ass.
They're excited. This is like, this is a turning point for them. They're like, hoorah, hooray. The evil, wicked witch is dead.
In Yellow Jackets, they have this thing called the Pig Girl.
Oh,
it's like in the very first episode of season 1, like the first 5 minutes, they showed this girl running because she was being haunted, and she falls into a pit. And when they call her Pit Girl, because we don't know who Pit Girl is, we were trying to figure out who Pit Girl is. But when Tony fell into that pit, I was like, Pit Girl.
Oh,
it's Tony.
Pit Girl, there she is in all her girl glory.
Exactly. Anyway,
so
got his ass.
They got him. So they go back to camp. Gerry goes up to Pat, and Pat's like, Gerry, oh my goodness, how'd you guys make out? We've been working really hard on trying to find a way to get rid of Tony. And then...
That just pissed me off.
Exactly.
How'd y'all make out? They could have died. One of y'all should have went with them.
We could have died.
They could have died. How'd it go?
How'd it go?
Y'all been sitting on your ass.
Right.
This whole time.
We're starved to death. So Gerry tells them, Pat, Tim, and Julie, we're like, oh, well, we kind of, took care of him ourselves. And Julie's like, oh, that's so cute. How did you do that? And Gerry's like, follow me. So they managed somehow to get Gerry out of the pit.
Right.
And they somehow created this barbed wired fence that's like electric. And if you touch it, you're electrocuted. And it's like a cage. It's like the Chucky almost. So they managed to assemble this, and they now have Tony in this cage.
Yeah.
And this is now them taking control, and they show this to Pat, Julie, and Tim. And they're like, what the hell are y'all doing?
No.
This is illegal. They give people the electric chair for the shit y'all got this man in.
Right.
He's like in a cage. What are y'all doing? And Pat's like, we have to get him out of here. You can't do this. Pat opens up the cage. He's like, oh my God, Tony, I'm so sorry. I'm going to get you out of here right away. I'm going to untie you. And Tony's like, you're a worthless piece of shit.
You better, you fat fuck or something.
And Pat's like, actually, you know what? I'm going to put this tape back on. I was going to help you, but now I'm going to have to let you burn. And Pat's like, okay, now let's really take this guy down.
Yeah.
He's like, we've got to do this. We've got to band together and we got to destroy Tony. But we've got to work together to do it.
We got to work together.
As he says to the camp counselors.
So the originals basically take back Camp Hope. They even tie up Tony's loyalists. They tie them up to trees. They put honey on their bodies and tell them that there's bears that are going to eat them. Apparently, there's not really bears in the woods. They tie up Lar, which is like the main guy. There's some other
Lars,
people there, but
not Lar.
Lars.
Lars.
Lars. And they tell Lars, because I was like, what's keeping y'all there? But Lars is there on a visa. And they were like, we found out that you're on a visa.
You're on a work visa.
You don't have a job, you be sent back home. Yeah. So I guess that's his way of like conforming, or they're like,
I love
don't
Lars.
run off because you go, huh?
I love Lars.
But yeah, they like lock up Tony, they lock up his loyalists. They have taken back control of the camp. That night, they go crazy. And by crazy, I mean they make a bonfire, they order food, they eat snacks, they have a binge eating bonfire party. Even Tim isn't on it. He going crazy. Tim is wild.
This is like a sacrifice, like sacrificial. It looks like a ceremony.
Yeah.
There's like
they go to Lars and they're like, "Will you pledge allegiance to us?" Basically, and if you do so, we will release you.
Yeah.
And Lars is like, "Yeah."
Now this is some Lord of the Flies type crap that they're doing. And they're going crazy. They're going crazy with the food.
Crazy.
They're like on a sugar high, pretty much.
Sugar is.
And they're partying.
They binge out.
They binge out. And they all pretty much fall asleep on the grass at this sacrificial candy bonfire. So, the next morning, Pat wakes up all the children and he's like, guys, kids, like I know, Tony was an extreme, but we got to take better care of ourselves. We can't do this. We have to learn self-control. We've got to start taking care of our bodies. We got to start doing things, and we have to, eat what we want to eat, but in moderation. Your body's a temple.
Your body's a temple. And falling asleep with marshmallows covered in your body just ain't it.
You're not treating your temple good.
We get like a montage of the new things they implement.
They're exercising.
They're going on speed walks. Which is a great start.
Right.
You don't need to do 20-mile hikes. Let's do a lap, motherfucker. Let's do a speed lap.
There we go.
They, this whole time, I forgot to mention, like, the MVP camp often comes around and, like, spray paints. It calls them fat and shit. They've, like, painted over their, like, mean words. They even went to MVP camp and cut their, like, boat line so they won't come over screaming, fatty, whatever they do. That's just rude.
Oh, I missed that.
Like, they're taking pride in themselves. The nurse is teaching them how to eat healthy, which should have been something that they always did.
Yeah.
Because why are you just learning about vegetables?
Why are we just now implementing this? Why are we just learning that tomatoes are fruit?
What were y'all doing these last 17 years?
It's crazy.
Craziness.
So,
and that's why I feel like the Bushkins,
something like that.
It might have been time for them to go.
Maybe
y'all not fulfilling, the message that you're trying to put across.
Exactly.
Just healthy eating or diet or whatever.
So, they're on the up and up. Camp
is fun again.
Camp is fun again, but now it's also healthy.
Yes.
They're not doing what Tony was doing with that craziness, but they're also doing what the Bushnicks
got the blob
weren't doing. We got the blob back. We got the go-karts are up and running. We're eating healthy. We're doing good. We're all in the neighborhood. Now
we believe in ourselves.
Now it's parent week. It's parent weekend. It's time to bring back the parents for one day and one day only to see their progress, see how these kids are doing, to check in on their wonderful bundles of joy.
Do you know how much money these people have?
What do you mean?
You send your kid
to camp
out of the state to go to camp. That's a flight ticket. That's a camp fee. It's expensive. Then you come in town just for a weekend,
right?
Just to see the kid, huh?
Right. Then you yourself fly in for like a day.
Leave. And then I'm sure not all the parents, but I'm sure some of the parents went to go pick up their kid and then fly their kid back.
Right.
That's expensive.
That is very expensive.
It's very expensive.
So it's family day. It's parent weekend. Yeah. All the kids and the parents are now in the mess hall. They are going to demonstrate all
about,
huh?
You gotta mention when Gary's dad sees him.
Oh, right. Gary's dad pulls up. And Gerry sees his father. His father sees him. Gary's dad turns to his wife and says, he looks the exact same. And she's like, shut up. The wife's like, shut up. And the mom's like, oh, Gary, it's so good to see you. Oh my goodness, we missed you. We missed you. And then Gary's dad's like, you haven't lost a pound. You look the exact same. He looks the exact same. She's like, shut the fuck up. He's like, yeah, but I feel great.
It clearly wasn't the mom's idea.
Yeah. The dad is like very anti Gerry being large. He's not a good father. He's almost as bad as the father from Don't Look Under the Bed. Francis Bacon's father, he hated her.
He hated her.
He did.
They're just like tough for no reason.
Yeah.
Just like
lighten up.
Just lighten up.
So,
and also if your kid's overweight, there is a positive way to fix this.
And it ain't sending them
simple
to Tony's workout regimen, that's for sure.
It's very simple. All you gotta do is when he gets home from school, you tell him, let's go walk. Yeah. I don't want to walk. That's too damn bad. Let's go for a walk.
And no snacks.
You take away the snacks from the house.
There you go.
That's it. He don't have money. He can't buy nothing.
There you go.
He don't go nowhere.
He ain't got no car.
You just got to watch your kid. You created this. He wasn't always this size. You created this. Okay, so blame yourself.
So the parents and the campers are all in the crew mess. They will now, see all of the kids' progress. They'll hear from like the camp counselors and everything's going great. Now, this is where Julie, Pat, and Tim's plan comes into play. They are now going to use this opportunity to demonstrate to the parents the awful things that Tony has been doing to their children. Meanwhile, Tony's still locked up in his cage, and he's being watched on the hour, every hour. For whatever reason, Nicholas, our precious little British baby, is on watch. Nicholas is like 8 years old.
I know. Well, he's watching it, I'm assuming, because his parents live in the UK. They can't just so easily come in town. Oh. So his parents are probably the only parents not there.
Look at you thinking outside the box.
I would assume so.
That's a good observation, though. I've never even thought about that.
Because his parents are probably the only parents not there.
Oh.
So you have to watch.
Well, sweet British baby Nicholas, who's like 8 years old, he can't freaking do anything, can't defend himself against a fly, is watching Tony. And of course, Tony is using this to his advantage. He's like, oh, Nicholas, you're doing such a great job. Your parents and the Queen would be so proud of you.
He says the Queen.
And Tony's like, oh my God, thanks. And Nicholas is like, oh my God, thanks. And Tony's like, I want to give you a reward for all your hard work. And he has a Hershey's Kiss. Well, he doesn't even have a Hershey's Kiss. He took a piece of foil that he found and molded the foil into a Hershey's Kiss. So it gives the appearance of a Hershey's Kiss candy. Nicholas, being a chubster, he's like, oh my God, candy? And we've been exercising this whole time, all these days. I haven't had candy in forever. So Nicholas falls for the bait. He's like, drop it and I'll pick it up. And Tony's like, that'll ruin the candy. You have to come and get it. Nicholas walks over to retrieve the candy. And of course, Tony snatches his ass up and gets himself out of the cage. Oh, no. Meanwhile, back at the crew mess where Tim, Julie, and Pat are using the cameraman Kenny's footage to show all of the parents the horrific things that Tony has been doing to their kids. This little mini documentary has Tony verbally abusing these kids. It has Tony forcing Josh to do 100 push-ups. It has Tony forcing the kids to work out in the rain in inclement weather, threatening to take away breakfast, lunch, and dinner from them. It has the videos of the children stooping as low as eating a fried rat because they're that hungry. Even though that part was
it's fake.
It's fake. It's in there. And the parents are mortified. Gary's dad, Jerry's dad looks at him and he's like, why didn't you tell us?
Gerry, no, you read it right.
I think it's Gerry. Gerry? Whatever. Gerald Garner looks at his dad and he's like, I tried to tell ya.
Right, y'all listen.
And so, once the video is all over, Tony's now escaped. And he is sitting at the windowsill of the mess hall. And he begins to slow clap. What a beautiful production. But the villain seemed a bit dramatic, says Tony.
One look. It is the same voice.
One look. It's the same voice. And I'm not your bra. So Tony comes in and he's like, I am Tony motherfreaking Perkins. How dare you try to lock me up and kidnap me? Tony looks like a hot mess. He jumps from the ceiling to the ground, and I don't know what happens.
And then he just starts talking crazy. He goes up to Gerry and Jerry's father.
But no. He walks up to Gerry, but he starts smashing glass on the ground as he's walking. And he's stepping on the grass. He smashes the glass, steps on the glass. Smashes it, steps on it. Smashes it, steps on it. And he's like, you can never be as strong as me, Gerald Garner, age 11, 160 pounds.
I don't know why he's so big on Gerry. Like, Josh is the ringleader.
Right, Josh is really the ringleader.
Josh is a ringleader. I know Jerry's he's the star of the movie, but the real star at the camp is Josh.
It's Josh. Your vendetta needs to be with Josh. And so Tony's walking up to Gerald as if he's about to, attack him. And Jerry's father punches Tony. He's like, you see that, son? You gotta take a stand. You gotta stand up for yourself. So Tony then...
was hilarious.
Yeah. He's like, you gotta take a stand. You gotta take a stand.
Oh, great. You punched a crazy man. You think you're so tough?
Yeah, shut up. So Tony stands up. He is not, taken aback by this punch from Jerry's father. And he ends up hitting Jerry's father. Then proceeds to do a round off back handspring, tuck on the same glass that he just repeatedly stepped on. And he's like, you can't stop me. I'm Tony Perkins. But then he falls and he falls out of...
He knocks himself out.
Yeah, and he knocks himself out.
He runs into the wall and
knocks
himself out.
He over-rotated his round-off back tuck and he hits his head.
Don't do that.
And now Tony's time is up. Time's up, Tony. Now, Tony's father has arrived, who's famous for being a light fixture king. He comes to the camp. Tony is played by Ben Stiller. So Tony's father arrives and he takes Tony away and he confronts all of the parents and all the kids at camp and he's like, hello everybody, it's me, Tony Perkins Sr. I want to apologize on behalf of my son. He acts like he's never been hugged before. I wasn't hugged as a kid either, so I don't know why he's like this. And he's like, I'll give all of you a refund and your money back. Jerry's like, no. We don't want to go home. We want to stay. And Mr. Perkins is like, oh, okay, y'all want to stay here? And he's like, well, I just have to turn the camp over to someone for insurance purposes. If that's really what y'all want to do. Who's been here the longest? Pat Ass has been there for 18 years.
Crazy.
And, everyone's saying, oh, I've been here for 1 year, 3 years, 7 years. Pat says 18 years. Mr. Perkins looks at him, says 18 years? What have you been doing?
You know what's crazy? That Tim is like, I've been here for 3 years.
4 years.
What? Huh? 4 years? 4. What year did he go from fat to skinny?
I know. I was like, I feel like he should have been there for like 9 years or something.
10.
Yeah.
So
he gives 7, 8 year vibes, not 4. Like, damn, nigga,
you was on the first dosage of Ozempic.
Right.
Like, what?
You was working overtime.
Yeah, ain't no way. Were you fat one year and then like after being a kid you're like never again?
He must have been like fat the first 2 years, and by the third year he was like,
yeah,
time to lock in.
Right, because that's crazy.
So, Pat is now, I don't know if he's the owner, but at least he's in charge.
Yeah.
Of Camp Hope.
He's the lead.
He is now the director. He's done moved up. He's the director of Camp Hope. Next order of business is to prepare the campers to take on the Camp MVP. And the All-Star Relay Summer Camp Triathlon that they have against them every year.
Yeah. I think it's crazy that they make them do this every year.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, I don't want to do this.
Like, we're not doing this shit. We lose every year.
Right, we lose every year. Like, what's the point of this?
I'm not doing it.
I don't want to do it.
But yes, but at this point, they're pretty much been prepping for this.
Yeah, you know, they got a whole new outlook.
Confidence up.
Mm-hmm. They're healthier.
Working out. But, so anywho, now is the day of the competition. We see Camp VP is there. I think Camp VP is there.
Camp MVP.
MVP. They're dressed up as like gods. And then Camp Hope is dressed up as Native Americans.
Appropriation.
Not sure why. Yeah, not sure why. But
maybe the underdog.
Maybe the underdogs. Like gods and whatever. I think there's symbolism there, but I'm not picking it up. I'm trying to. So yes. So this competition is like a relay race. So the first part of it is exercise based. So we see, which really pissed me off. We see one kid, he's the leader of the relay race, and
it's like hacky sack. Is that what's called? Not hacky sack.
No.
A hack sack race?
Egg sack race.
Heck.
No, potato sack race.
Potato sack.
So, you hop in the potato bag, you hop. The MVP, killing it. Easy. Light work. Camp Hope.
He can't even get in the potato sack.
He did 2 hops and fell, butt crack all over the place. I'm like, did y'all not practice this?
Right.
This was the best y'all could do? This guy?
This is your strongest fighter?
Now, I just don't understand. No one on this team is coordinated enough to hop a couple. It pissed me off.
Yeah.
Then they had to like climb like a wall. Was it
like a rock climbing wall? Yeah.
Yeah, rock climbing wall. Camp MVP. Easy. Camp Hope. The guy's freaking out. He's got one leg on the ground, one leg on a little ledge, and he is like, "Am I moving? Am I doing it?
Am I at the top yet?" And they're like, "No, baby, your foot's actually still on the ground."
So they're behind. Next obstacle course: throw a football. We have to throw a football into a hoop. Camp MVP does it easily. Camp Hope comes up. Roy, which I felt was another.
I concur. I concur. I was like, oh,
so one time
the black kid knows how to throw the ball.
He kills it. The one time Camp Hope, they're like, put the black in. Got it.
He can do
it. No problem with him, Roy, throwing the balls into the tires. So now we're coming back. We're coming back a little bit. Next thing is the like a test of knowledge or something, like a
Hall of Intelligence.
Hall of Intelligence. So Camp MVP goes in there because they're kind of winning. They're going there. First question: name 5 vice presidents.
They may be athletic, but they are not smart.
But American, which is funny because the Americans are smart. You know who they send in for this history lesson of United States history lesson is the British boy.
Nicholas. So there's like a string of like intellectual questions. You got to name 5 U.S. presidents or 5 U.S. vice presidents. Name this painting and its author. Solve this freaking Pythagorean theorem looking equation.
That was wild.
That equation was wild.
I was like, oh hell no! We're 11. I'm 11.
Exactly. This
is senior level. Chemistry.
This is algebra 2.
This is advanced chem.
And I'm learning multiplications.
Yeah. Sorry, advanced cal. calculus. Excuse me, not chemistry.
And so Nicholas, however, being, he's British, so he's a little bit smarter than us. He breezes through all of these questions. He names 5 vice presidents, and this kid's not even American. He solves the math equation. The answer was like 11. He names every painter and its author and creator with ease. Now, Camp Hope and Camp MVP, we're about neck and neck. We all caught up.
I don't understand how Camp MVP made it out of the Hall of Knowledge or whatever.
Right. They're probably like, it's taking too long. Just let him go.
I guess they were like, yeah.
Just let him go.
So, yes. So, at this point, they're neck and neck. For whatever reason, I don't know, because I feel like the British guy should have some kind of leeway. But we see them coming down because the next course or the obstacle is the go-karts.
The grand finale.
The go-kart. Yeah, the grand finale. They got to tag in the go-kart person. So Camp Hope and Camp MVP are like running side by side. I'm not sure how that happened because I feel like at this point Camp Hope should be a little bit further along, but whatever. So, of course, driving the go-kart is our main man, not Josh, Gerry, the star of the show. He's been in love with these go-karts ever since he saw them in his living room. He's been dreaming about this shit. So, obviously, he would drive the go-kart. Before he starts, they put the little airplane pin, the wings on him that he got earlier. They're like, fly, pony boy. So, yes, he takes off. There's a whole like turn, bump, accelerate, slow down. There's a turn coming up, accelerate, slow down. It's neck and neck. Oh my God, who's going to win? Who's going to win? So right at the end, the guy on Camp MVP is kind of, he's in the lead, but Gary's right behind him. He takes this chance to...
Gerry wants to fly.
He wants to fly, which I thought was funny that it looks like they're trying to use like the exhaust, but it's a go-kart. So like they turn the fans on. I don't know what it is. Is that what they call it in Fast and Furious? The exhaust hit the, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
They hit the red button and it goes, shoo.
Oh, hit the gas? I don't know.
No.
The diesel?
It's like the nitro. Something like that. I think that's what they call it. You're supposed to know.
I stopped watching Fast and Furious after Paul Walker died.
I know, but
so I don't know.
But he hits a button that makes this car go fast. When he hits it, he's like on top of like a little ramp, so he flies. But like just
Gerry wants to fly, Gerry, fly.
He hops over. It basically lands on Camp MVP's go kart, and like falls down and wins by that fucking much, but doesn't fucking matter, mate, because we fucking won. Eat shit, Camp MVP.
A win's a win, baby. They win for the first time in Camp Hope history. They are able to defeat Camp MVP in the triathlon battle of the camps. They're going crazy. The director, owner, camp counselor of Camp MVP, he's pissed. He goes up to Pat and he's like, you don't deserve this. I want my trophy fair and square. And Pat's like, oh, this is what you want? This trophy? What does he do? He throws the trophy into the lake. Go get it, baby. Yeah, woo!
It's fucking iconic.
I didn't like it. I was like, y'all win the one time. Y'all need to keep this trophy forever. Y'all not getting it again.
No, I think it's iconic to be like, oh, this is what you thought was so important that we worked so hard to win, and we're just gonna throw in a wire because we don't give a fuck. I thought it was
like, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, y'all need to keep this because we're not doing this again.
No, it was cunty. Like I feel like Camp MVP is, they're probably gonna win next year, but Camp Hope won this year and they didn't give a fuck. No, I thought it was
the whole history. And y'all probably knowing y'all probably gonna stop doing this little relay to begin with.
They should. They should.
And that's why they need that trophy, because y'all not ever gonna do it again.
They should just do like internal competitions. I don't think we need to involve another camp that's skinny and better than us. What is that?
What's that about?
Yeah, what's that about?
So they throw the trophy into the water. The losers over at Camp MVP are so pressed about this trophy, they even hop in the river to go catch it. The kids, however, at Camp Hope are so excited. They pour water on themselves like they just won the Super Bowl. And Gerry goes up to Pat and he says, Pat, thank you for the best damn summer of my life. Oh. And Pat says, right back at you, Gerry. And they hug and embrace. That's the end of the movie.
And then Pat kisses Julie for the first time.
Oh, that happened before that. But yeah, Pat gets to kiss Julie.
And then all's well and ends
well that ends well at Camp Hope.
The movie ends off in a song.
A camp song.
A Camp Hope song. I think they were trying to be like Holes, even though I know Holes.
Oh, this is giving me Holes vibes, even though Holes
but it was
did
terrible.
It better.
I thought the song was terrible.
It was.
Yeah. Even Lars is in it, though. I feel like Lars is going to be a camp counselor from now on.
Oh, yeah.
I Camp Hope.
Well, actually, but in reality, yeah. He is.
Yeah.
I love Lars.
But I feel like he learned the value of friendship.
The value of friendship, the value of camaraderie.
Russian asshole.
And that is an end to the Camp Hope 1995 summer. I don't know. Something happened to him?
Oh yeah, you see at the end he has a little thing at the end too, like kind of similar to
he gets fat?
Dodgeball. He's like selling he's a door-to-door salesman. He's selling like healing crystals.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so after they do the whole song at the very end, he's like, you can see him like at someone's door, like trying to sell them healing crystals.
Girl, I wasn't listening to that whole song. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had it on the back. I didn't mean to, but I was like, I was typing something, and then I was like, oh, look, Tony.
Oh, I'll have to go back and watch.
Yeah, so here's a little finale scene. I mean, he goes on to own a fitness center, too, but then he gets fat again. Yeah,
because he wants to take over this like other gym that's across the street, and he thinks it's gonna be like super easy for him to like buy the gym, but it actually is quite the hassle, and he doesn't get to buy the gym, and for whatever reason that sends him into a downward spiral, and he becomes obese, and he loses his initial gym that he owned.
It's just like for whatever reason he just keeps on trying to chase this like perfect body image and put down other people. He just should worry about his fucking self, you know?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Hurt people. Hurt people. Okay, don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, review, comment. Even if it's a bad comment.
No. Tell me that you love me.
Tell me that you love me. We hope you enjoyed.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah. Go watch another Ben Stiller movie. Go see what Ben Stiller accent's your favorite.
Yeah.
Zoolander, Dodgeball, or Heavyweight.
They're all the same, so.
Yeah, but which one do you think fits him the best? One look.
One look. I'm not your bruh.
I'm not your bruh.
Excuse me, bruh. You're excused. And I'm not your bruh. Anywho. All right, I'm gonna go to bed.